No.
I'm not going to ask you what happened. Hey guys, how you all doing? Off-screen antics here, guys. 100 days to go to Eurovision. Woo!
Woo!
We have to say hello in the live. We've got Sarah O'Halloran. We've got Alexander. We're going to try not to mess it up, Alexander. But you never know what will happen when it comes to us. We've got beautiful Joanne Johnson. Hey, Joanne. We've got Rye Bailey. We've got Viggs. Have we seen the song titles of Victoria's 5 songs for Eurovision? Yes, we have.
Yeah.
But we only know one of the songs, though, which is Ugly Cry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, we've only heard one of the songs. But, guys, how you all doing? We've got Stu, we've got Clara, we've got Jess. How are you guys?
Good.
Very well,
Excited. Because 100 days it's just going to be full of. They're going to be full of activity.
Oh, and 100 days of anticipation as to what's going to happen with Eurovision and what scenario we're gonna have. But guys, before we go any further, we have to say we are so unbelievably close to 11,000 subscribers right now that get your friends, family, everyone to subscribe to our channel, because we would love to hit 11K while we're live with you guys tonight. That'd be amazing. But if not, help us achieve it by the weekend. And thank you all for your support. So, guys, we had this show tonight, live from Rotterdam on the official Eurovision channel. I know everyone, I've seen lots of comments about it. But it was nice, first of all, that they're trying to get people excited and kind of start the countdown to Eurovision, which at one point was 0-0, but they did add the one on just in time for the fireworks. But yeah, we got to see the hosts and another guy who wasn't quite sure who he was. I'm assuming he was the mayor of Rotterdam. Who was it?
I think it was the mayor, because he had this like the necklace the mayors wear.
He looked very Mary, I have to say. So I would assume he was the mayor of Rotterdam. Quickly say hello as well. We've got Serdian in the live. Bravo. We've got Sis, who I think is from Croatia. Box Sis. So yeah, so we had this little celebration tonight. Maybe didn't go as planned, but you know, we have to say well done for giving it a shot anyway. But it does kind of get you excited now about how close Eurovision is.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously, coming out of the year that we had, we're all, hoping and praying that we can get something, a Eurovision show that feels like Eurovision, obviously, as much as possible because of the restrictions. But, I think I speak for everyone when I say that, like, this is a warm welcome, and we're all going to be counting down along with everyone else until things actually start.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, we've really been counting down since last year, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just pointing at Stuart because he made a funny face that really represented what we felt about this open ceremony, to call it somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I did like I think there was roller skate. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on tonight, really. I mean, I was just enjoying watching Edcelia Romley because I'm such an Edcelia stan.
Me
I can't
too.
wait on that stage.
I couldn't help thinking about how cold it must have been in that terrace, and like having the other performers have to like really warm up to like do those dance moves, and like the singers that were doing such a good job and like having to warm that vocals, like singing in the cold. It must have and there was piles of snow in the corners. It must have been something.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know how it is like where you are, Clara, but in the UK right now it is freezing. We've had loads of snow. And I think it's swept across the Netherlands.
I'm in Estonia. It's -7 right now.
We've also got to say hello to Nicola. Hey, Nicola. And Euroboy 4. Euroboy 4, where have you been? We're very excited about 100 days until Eurovision. Serdian is saying for fans, Eurovision is even closer if the rehearsals are going to take place. Well, there will be rehearsals. We heard a bit about the virtual press centre, and they would have access to rehearsals. I'm not sure how that would work if it is proper lockdown Eurovision and every country is performing from home, because I think the clips will already have been recorded by then. So I would imagine that people in the press centre on the Eurovision channel will get to see some snippets of their performances if there aren't countries performing on stage in Rotterdam. And hello to Twan as well. Twan, we want to know, how cold is it in the Netherlands right now, because the hosts are absolutely freezing. freezing tonight. And I'm going to say, broken clock is the first time I've ever seen anything not working in the Netherlands. They're normally so consistent and bang on time with everything. So little mishap
But
tonight.
do you think it was done on purpose? Because my feeling was that it was done on purpose to get us excited, like, oh, 0-0, and then 1 just before, just to portray the uncertainty. But maybe that's just me trying to figure out whatever I saw.
Well, even if it wasn't, they can say it was because they've got a good sense of humour, the Dutch, I think.
Yeah!
It was Jess's birthday yesterday.
Tuesday. 2 days ago.
Tuesday. She finally turned 16.
She's still underage.
I'm not going to reveal your age live on YouTube, Jess, but we hope you had a lovely birthday. We want to know, what was your birthday Eurovision tune of choice on Tuesday?
Do you know what? I didn't listen to a single Eurovision song. I was listening to more kind of 70s disco, 80s pop. But if I was to go for Eurovision on my birthday, I mean, it has to be King Serha, of course.
Why did you ask, Andy? Why did you ask?
Yeah.
less said about that, the better. Emily Freeman, Sarah O'Halloran, and Serdan, all wishing you happy birthday,
Thank you.
Well, you mentioned 80s music. Now, one thing we can talk about today is there's a real theme of 80s style songs in the national selections this year. I, for one, love the sound of that because I love the 80s. For me, it's the best musical decade. Jess, I know that you're a big 80s music fan.
I agree with you, Andy.
I'm going to look over this side. I'm not sure if it's the same for these two.
I love the 80s music from the 80s. I love the music from the 80s when it was recorded during the 80s. This new wave that's coming looks repetitive, looks kind of obsolete. It's okay. When it's really good done, like Dua Lipa does it perfectly, in my opinion. And a few big stars, they are doing it very, very well. But in general, when it's become so commercial again and so saturated, it just gets me tired.
Yeah, I would agree with that. When it starts to become a gimmick, then it's hard to look beyond it as a gimmick. Because obviously these songs, they have other things going on for it, but it's just because it's trendy to go with an 80s sound. It's, for me at least, kind of hard to look past that. But with that said, I would say that even with that being a recurring theme, there are definitely certain songs that do it really well. And I'm thinking of Rayleigh as one example. There's a song in the Croatian selection that's got this really like laid back synth pop kind of vibe by Ella Oroscovic called Come This Way. There's a number of them in Dora that have a really true 80s sound. Most of them are kind of like the 80s disco funk kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it gets a bit repetitive, and I wouldn't want to have a show with 40 plus songs that all sound like the 80s, you know?
I would.
Why not?
I know you would. Because it's 2021, okay?
Yes. 80s rock, for me, that's really okay. And actually, Miley Cyrus's, I know this is beyond Eurovision, but Miley Cyrus's Plastic Hearts is all like 80s rock music, and I'm really on board with that. So
I was trying to think like where it.
I'm more on board with 80s rock than maybe 80s disco comeback.
I was trying to work out like where it had come from, because I think there's like an 80s trend that has totally passed me by. Maybe it's because we're in a pandemic, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing these clips of these songs. I'm like, oh, it sounds a little bit 80s. And then obviously we've got the Roop, which I think is quite kind of, maybe the production isn't 80s, but the style, you could be in the 80s and dance into a song like that. But like I said, I love it because, you know, the 80s gave you guys one of the best things that you could have had, and it was me. I was born in the 80s.
Waiting for that.
Yes, actually, a lot of nice people were born in the 80s.
Yeah, we've got probably the most handsome people as well. We're born in the 80s.
Yes.
We've got Euroboy 4 loves Kim Wa. Oh, you're talking my language now, Euroboy 4.
Yes.
And Belinda Carlisle. Lots of people always ask me if I'm related, because Carlisle's got a very popular surname. But unfortunately, we're not related, and I've never met her. We've got Matthew Blackie in the live. Hey, Matthew. We've got Jamie Brennan. Sad About Psycho by Daniel Owen reminded you kind of a Felix Sandman song.
Okay.
So I've not heard.
Yeah, well, I don't know how it works. Maybe Jess knows the details, but there is going to be a second chance round for Melody Grand Prix.
Yes,
and
there is.
I don't know if is it that all the songs are invited back, or is it just the ones that advanced to the gold duel in each semifinal?
So basically, as far as I'm aware, every song that didn't qualify to the final will have the chance, I presume, to perform again, and then there'll be a voting at the end where one song makes it to the final. Because the show is, I think, about 3 hours, so they have plenty of time for everyone to perform.
Musical marathon, love that. We just honorary shout out to Voldemar from Lithuania.
It's actually him. Hi, Voldemar.
The Voldemar. Well done.
It is him.
Well done in
song.
Abandom is Nayo. I have to have that jacket. So if you're still watching, I want that jacket. We've got Rye Bailey talking about your favourite is Israel so far. Well, guys, we've got 5 songs so far. 6 is coming on Saturday with Dora, so we'll get our Croatian entry. Lots of people talking about Nina. Lots of support for Nina in Dora. But the first song we got was obviously Albania.
No, I was going to say we also kind of know like a song that Spain is going to bring. It's one or the other. It's either Voy a quedarme or the other one. So
Memoria.
And we find out in only
Memoria.
9 days. I think we find out on the 20th which one is going to be chosen. We'll talk about Spain again shortly, but we had Albania, which seems like an age ago now, whereas it was only 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks. We got the Albanian song. I always find that with Albania, because they select so early, you almost forget about them until they come back like just before the submission date with some big revamp and changing it into English, which they're not going to do. It is going to be kept in Albanian this year. And the production on the song I thought was quite. I don't think it needs a revamp.
No,
I don't think it needs one, but I think that it could still be made better. Because Albania is not necessarily winning everyone over, and I don't think it will, to be honest. But I think that, like, for example, with Jonida Milici, she already had a really solid song. But then when they came with the revamp, that's one of my favorite studio cuts from that year, and I think it elevated it so much and helped it really shine more than the original would have.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to always love everything that Albania sends anyway. So I will just say that with Ugenbush Pepper, all they did was make it slightly shorter. That's all they changed, and it was perfect. And then we had, of course, the second song that we had was Israel. I think I'm so out of order. I think we had Israel, France, Lithuania, and then this Saturday we'll get Croatia. So maybe not as much love for Israel's song, I've noticed in the comments, as there was for Fekelebi, but it was to be expected. Fekelebi's a hard song to top, I think. And we have spoken about not comparing to last year, and I've just broken my own rule. And it's
okay.
totally unfair.
It's going to happen.
Although one I will compare to last year is the Roop, because I actually think I prefer Discotheque.
Me too.
You forgot to mention Ukraine. They also announced their song last week.
So hold on, 6 songs then?
No, we have 5, but we'll get the 6th this Saturday.
I can't count then. Yes, Ukraine with Shum. Absolutely love it. And it was another one where you're a bit worried, like how are they going to do something that's going to be on par with Solove? Because it ended up being one of my songs from last year. I know you were a big fan, Stu. Clara and Jess, I don't know actually.
I actually really liked it, yes, and I really like the one that they're Shum. I like it too. I don't want to say it's very similar because it's not, but it is. But it's not. But it has the same essence, and I love the music video. Is so contemporary.
And they didn't go for an 80s sound. Not that they would, but thank God they didn't go for an 80s sound.
And they have the guitar.
And of course, and we have Barbara from France, and that's not an 80s sound. That's a very timeless kind of song. People comparing her to like Edith Piaf.
I could say that.
I will say with something like Ukraine, because their sound is so unique and so different for maybe countries outside of that region in Europe, you know, particularly Western Europe and other places in the world, is, you know, I love cars, and I can tell the difference between you know, a Ford Focus and a Vauxhall and an Opel Astra, whereas to my mum they will both look the same. And that's how I imagine it with a song, with a band like Go Away, to kind of an ear that's less familiar with that sound. They will say, oh, it sounds similar to Solvay, which of course it does in a way, but then it's completely different on the other hand as well. So I mean, I love it.
And whatever they were going to bring, they had this very characteristic sound to themselves. So they were going to stand out whatever they would bring. So that was really good.
Yeah, and a great sense of humour as well. And I think, I'm not sure if we would have seen that with Solvay, but I think we might see it in their performance with Shum. And that they have actually got. I mean, we did an interview with them last year, and they're fantastic, really laid back. They've got a great sense of humour, a lot of fun. So I'm hoping we will get to see that. I mean, are we going to see them in hazmat suits on stage? That would be amazing.
I hope so. Could be quite fun.
Talk about capturing the mood.
Maybe they could try and make the hazmat suits like traditional. So like traditional Ukrainian hazmat suits. I don't know.
Yeah, you can paint the folk symbols or like the folk patterns on this.
Yeah.
I can be the painter if they are looking for someone.
Maybe you should do a design. We've got Emily Freeman saying you prefer On Fire to discotheque. Sarah O'Halloran wants to know, when are we going to hear Last Dance? So this is Stefania's song for Greece, and apparently she prefers it to what she came with last year, which was called
Supergirl.
Supergirl. I was going to say Superman. I thought it doesn't sound right. Euroboy 4, we're all going to join Fedora 2021, so you must come back straight after the show on Saturday because we will be live. Sarah is saying no news from Russia yet. I think that's I think we're going to get a little big announcement at some point. I'm 99.999% sure that they're going to be coming back for Russia, and I think they've even hinted at it.
We're going to get them all, mostly everyone again. It's going to be fantastic.
France is such a boring song, in your opinion, Rye Bailey? Well, it's cool to have your opinion, and not everyone is going to love it.
Yeah, it's artistic. At least you have to give them that. It's beautiful. It might be entertaining and spectacular, but it's definitely beautiful.
Serdian is reminding us that we're also getting Benny Cristo's song next week. He's someone that I feel we haven't spoken about, or we haven't heard about for a long, long, long time. But his song was one of my favourites last year.
Yes, mine too. But I think he's kept a low profile from one Eurovision year to another Eurovision year.
I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring. I mean, he kind of toed and froed with his song last year. There was a revamp, and then everyone was cussing the revamp, and then he kind of put out this video saying, "No, I did a revamp because everyone was telling me to do a revamp." I'm not sure exactly what version we would have got had Eurovision gone ahead. Personally, I would have preferred the original version that he did, closest to his studio version, because he did an amazing performance at Vidbeer.
Yes. I think this is one of the things with the revamp, that you have to be really careful to hear when you hear external influences, because normally, you won with a song, and that's the song the public voted for and the one they want to be represented by. So it's great if you want to make it better, but also you need to know when something is good enough. I think the maturity of the artist comes when they know something is good enough, and it's like a painting. A painting is never finished. You can keep on adding layers and layers and layers of paint, but at some point it's your own choice as an artist, or your own decision as an artist, to know when a song is ready, regardless of what everyone says.
I think that in this case, because Benny Cristo has been performing for a long time. He's quite an established artist in the Czech Republic, and I think in this case, because it was for Eurovision, which is a song contest, perhaps it was easier to let those external voices come in and impact the creative process. At least this time around, he has that as a learning experience to know to trust his own instincts a bit better. So I really think that this could be a great opportunity for him because his song last year, the people who loved it, and I think that considering the staging we've seen from the Czech Republic, yeah, me too, and Clara too, and I don't know about you.
I like it.
I wasn't that keen on it, but I totally get the love that it got.
Yeah, so I think that Czech Republic, as has been for the last few years, is going to be one to watch for 2021.
And they always bring us something different, the Czech Republic, and that's what I love. And I think they're kind of understated at the moment in Eurovision, and I think they need a lot of praise for kind of going against the grain and not just coming with something that they think is going to serve them well. They do something that is them. And that's what I love about them participating.
The stagings lately are super. This past year has been super fun. Like Malawi and Mikolas Joseph have been really great stagings, and I personally have enjoyed them very much. So I was very curious to see how Benny Cristo's staging would have been. But now I'm even more curious to see how, with the new song, it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, if countries at Eurovision were people, then the Czech Republic would be that cool dude that shows up at the party, isn't it? They will turn up late, but then they're going to be one of the best looking, and they're going to be one of the best dancers, and everyone's going to love them. What would San Marino be? I don't know. I'm going to get thinking about that now. What if countries in Eurovision were people? But guys, if you are just joining us, we are so close to 11,000 subscribers, and we would love to hit it tonight. So if you're not subscribed to Eurovoxx, then why not? You need to ask yourself seriously. But if you can, make sure you subscribe tonight. We'd love to hit 11K tonight. And thank you guys for all of your support. And it's 100 days to Eurovision. So we're having a little celebration. It's come around much quicker in amongst all the crap that's been going on over the past year. Little live stream from Rotterdam with the mayor and the hosts and some roller skaters and some dancers and a singer, I think, and a broken clock, which we're not sure if that was meant to happen or not. But really happy that they kind of honoured that we've only got 100 days to go until the grand final, I think. Is that right? So actually, Eurovision week is even closer. And just a bit of good news here. So Stefania's song is also going to have some 80s elements in it, apparently. Fantastic news for me and Jess.
Didn't see that coming.
Let's have a look. Have we hit 11K tonight? If we have, that's amazing. Oh, if someone can confirm and let us know. And thank you so much. If you have only just subscribed, we love you already. We've got somewhere in Europe. Georgia would be the weird one. Oh, we're talking about people now. If they're country.
I agree.
Right,
they would be the one that doesn't follow the rules and that just does their own thing. Yeah.
Georgia would be the one that you have to get to know to really love them.
Yeah.
The kid, it would be the kid that sits alone in the lunchroom,
but is actually really talented and artistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a broken soul.
And then comes on stage with like a roaring rock voice.
Yeah.
Georgia would be sometime-ish, and that's because for me, Georgia, they kind of do 1 year on, 1 year off. So they bring something amazing, then they bring something different, but they're always quirky.
I know who they would be. Have you watched Tickets to My Downfall by Machine Gun Kelly, like the movie he made? It's about, anyway, the guy, the main character, that will be Georgia, like loner, that is super artistic, but so understood, and yeah.
Let's go to, we've got Vlado B. Hey, Vlado. You're saying Nina will win for Croatia. So we did mention her earlier. She's one of the, probably the favourite to win Dora. But Stuart, you and Sanya discussed the songs in a lot more detail today. And guys, don't forget to check out that video on our channel. It came out today. But yeah, one of your favourites, Nina?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of waiting to see the full product because it is a bit familiar, but in a Eurovision sense, especially seeing that it's a Balkan ballad. But it has some really cool elements, like a choral kind of side to it with lots of voices, and we've seen her tease the dancers that are going to be involved with it. So I'm just kind of waiting to see it before I'm like, okay, this is a good choice. But I also think that she's definitely a very strong contender, and she's coming with something that feels like that feels ready to win and go to Eurovision.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
you like key changes?
I don't. Mostly.
What?
Sometimes.
do you not
Sometimes
like
they
key
work.
changes, Stu?
No, I don't.
I love key changes.
When in like contemporary pop radio do you hear a key change?
That's
Never.
why we
That's
need
when.
key changes in Eurovision to make this happen.
Exactly.
Oh, I love a key change.
But don't like your spirit lives with the key change. When the key changes go up, you go up. It's like, you elevate
No,
yourself.
my spirit sinks because it's like anybody could have predicted this. And it's funny because Sanya even said in that video when we were talking, when we asked that question, do you like key changes? And she was even saying, well, in Croatia, we kind of just solved all of our problems with key changes. But it's fine if you like them.
This Eurovision's just getting better and better for me. 80s music and key changes. That's literally my life. Hello to Christopher. Hey, Christopher. We've also got Morton V.
Hey.
Roop are your clear favourites so far.
I have to say something. Living in Estonia and listening to Spotify, I get the Roop discotheque commercials in between my songs. So this is how I'm starting to like it because of the commercials.
I also played it to my little nephew, and he loved it as well. But I think he loved the dancing because he hasn't quite got a musical ear yet. So I'm not sure if we said hello to you yet, James Lewis. So hello to you. We do actually have a Georgian wine connoisseur in the house.
Can confirm Georgian wine is great.
That is true. I have an appointment.
Nah, that's long gone. Long gone.
The day after.
I have an appointment once a week with another artist friend, and we go and drink Georgian wine in her studio, and we love it.
But guys, in the live chat, while we're still here, we would love to know your top 5 rankings so far. So out of Israel, Albania, Ukraine, Lithuania, and somewhere France. Let us know your top 5. Always love to find that out from you guys. Ryan Bailey is saying no news on the UK. Well, we did have a tweet from the silent. I mean, the BBC Eurovision account has been silent for a while, but they have said that they're promised they're going to be revealing details soon. There's been this rumor going around about I can't remember what the name is, but something to do with Frock Destroyers. Yeah, so they were obviously from RuPaul's Drag Race, I think. Well, you're all going to kill me because I've never seen that show.
Me neither.
Oh, you haven't seen it either. Okay, so there's
who are you?
I'm sure we had this rumor last year as well with regards to Frock Destroyers.
That's what I was going to say. So I just think that it's probably not really worth much.
No, I mean people always have some people on Twitter have a lot of time on their hands and create these accounts and these fake rumors. I'm going to go to some of your top 5s now. Tommy, thank you so much. We were hoping to hit it tonight. It looks like we might have done. So thank you guys for confirming. And we've got Christopher Music. So Israel is your number 1, Ukraine, Lithuania, France, and then Albania. Jacob, Albania is your number 5. We have got somewhere in Europe, Lithuania, Ukraine, Albania, Israel, and France. I'm just seeing these, and it's so hard to put them in any order because all songs are great. Top 5, France. It's not controversial, Emily. France is your top. Then Lithuania, Israel, Albania, and Ukraine. Now, Latvian is saying if Blind Channel won't win UMK, you're going to lose your mind. So I have heard a clip of Blind Channel. It sounds right up my street. Possibly one of the favourites. It might not be a dead cert for an Axel win this year.
Yeah. I would love Blind Channel to go. They have the right energy. I think they are really prepared, and they can bring something I don't want to say different or that we haven't seen before, because we have with AWS and Lordi and everyone and all of the rock acts, but I think we really need a presence of this genre of music every year.
Yeah, and when we think about Finland, they have done well with rock music at Eurovision, and also there's a real culture around Finnish rock and Finnish metal. It's not a personal favorite of mine out of that selection, but I wouldn't mind if it was chosen. I think I would prefer it over some of the other ones.
I was going to say
agree
it's
with
kind of like
Stuart.
80s rock, but it's not 80s rock, is it?
No, not at
Well,
all.
it can be 90s, early 2000s for sure, because they sound a little bit like Linkin Park and all of these bands that emerged at the same time. So it's not super modern rock, if you want to call it. And the guys, Willem anyway, the singer told me that early 2000s was their influence and their inspiration, and then all of the modern pop and rap that they also hear. So it's like a mix of everything, but I wouldn't say it's neither 80s nor completely modern.
We've got Ivan. Hey, Ivan. I'm going to hazard a guess and say that you're maybe from Croatia, but I've probably completely got that wrong. France, your favourite, Lithuania second, Israel third. Morton V, you're going for Lithuania, Ukraine, France, Israel, Albania. All songs so far are great. There's no disappointment for me so far. Serdian is saying if Kane, I still don't know how to say it. I can't believe it after a year. I'm still not sure how to say it properly. Stuart.
Oh, well, not that I know. I say Kaino because that's what I've heard them say in the selection, but who knows?
Let's have a look. Serdian, you're saying TB, TB and Pandora.
Teflon Brothers, yeah.
That's my favourite.
Baby, love you. Oh, thanks, Morton. That's sweet. Which song is that?
That's the Teflon Brothers and
that is Teflon Brothers. Okay.
Yeah.
I've only heard the clips, but I know the Teflon Brothers sounds like a computer game.
Yeah.
From what I can remember, yeah.
And that's so 80s. So please, Blind Channel, do us a favor.
Also, Clavs, controversial Clavs. I know will not win. Who do you think? Oh, and it is Kino, apparently. Kino, like quinoa, which, if anyone knows what it is, it's not spelt like it sounds. Clavs, want to know, who do you think is going to win in Norway then, if you don't think it's Kino?
I'm really interested with these Clavs. Please let us know.
Christopher is saying Axel should go for Finland in UMK, such an emotional song. So all right, it's a real mixed bag. So there's no kind of overall favourite then, as far as I can tell, in Finland. The opinions seem to be quite mixed.
To be fair, I think the juries. I'm going to go to the France national final with what the jury say about Pony X.
Pony X.
Yes, that we've had such a hard year that we want to get distracted, and emotional songs might not do the trick. I just want party songs. I want rock songs. I want songs that make me feel alive, and that I've been sitting in my flat, like feeling my feelings for a year. Like, please come on.
Feeling your what for a year?
Feeling my feelings.
Oh, your feelings. Okay. I wondered what you'd been feeling in your flat.
Feeling my feelings for 1 year, and I don't want to feel them anymore. I want to feel alive. So please, let's have songs that represent that.
Morton also wants to know, are there any fans of Alt det der by Landeveins Helter? It was in semi-4 of MGP. So over to you, Jess.
Wasn't a massive fan of the song, to be honest. Yeah, it's a good song, just doesn't appeal to me.
We've got to say hello to Felix P as well. The live stream of Eurovision was that's the best word you can choose for it. It was something. But we can still celebrate. We've got 100 days to go to Eurovision and to Eurovision final, and we can't wait. We've also got to say hello to ESE Manga over in Turkey. Hello to you. Jacob Gamer, you're saying Lithuania, France, Ukraine, Israel, and Albania. Your favourite. Oh,
bring the kitty here. Bring her here.
Won't come. She won't come.
No?
Come here. No. He's
Oh,
trying to get out the window.
well.
Let's have a look. Clavs, your favourite in MGP is Emmy so far. Euroboy 4, you want some partying up-tempo songs this year? I think we're going to get them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we will get them. I'm seeing a bop from Azerbaijan. I think we're going to get one from San Marino.
Yeah.
I always hope that we get a beautiful Italian ballad. Where else
I
are the
don't
bops
think-
going to come from this year?
I don't
Probably
think
Iceland.
Hurricane from Serbia would
Oh,
give
yes.
us a broken bop, I can imagine.
Iceland, most likely.
Ahoy to Sarudak as well. Hello to you. Guys, if you're just joining us, have a drink for us tonight because we just hit 11,000 subscribers and we can't believe it while we were live on air. And we love it. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do it. And if you're not watching us live, please still subscribe and drop us a comment down there on your favourite so far in Eurovision 2021. Sarudak, we have already discussed Blind Channel.
But we can do it again.
Fan right here, fan right there. We've got a fan up there, but not such a fan up here, I don't think.
It's all right, but not my favorite.
I love them. They have the right energy, the right attitude, the right song, and we need uplifting songs and like middle fingers everywhere.
I'm going to try and get Kitty. So, Stuart, keep it going.
Okay.
And this cut for the UK.
Euroboy 4 is saying Greece and Cyprus will also be up tempo.
Oh, yeah.
I know that we've seen the song title for Cyprus, which is El Diablo. I don't think we've heard much else apart from like some of the songwriters. Yeah, I mean, I would say that we could probably expect something that's really, that gets us moving.
El Diablo doesn't sound like a ballad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely not.
It means devil in Spain, in Spanish, in case it wasn't obvious.
Anyway, Sailor, she really doesn't like being picked up. But I want to know, if you think there should be more 80s music in Eurovision, run off my lap. See ya.
Good one.
I'm going to agree with Latvian that I would love to see Blos Mafian represent Norway because they are bringing something different. Those are the guys with the brass, the three guys playing brass instruments, and it's an EDM song with Hazel singing some really soulful chorus lines as well. Great stuff.
That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, talking about bops, we did forget about Elena as well from Cyprus. I think that's going to be some boppage.
Did we forget about that? I think we were just talking about that.
Yes,
Wait,
but
oh,
you were taking the cat.
I was playing with the cat.
Yes, we were saying that El Diablo doesn't sound like a ballad, so we're very excited to hear the song, and probably it's going to come with choreography. We know that there's a fashion designer involved. There's going to be costumes, and the fashion designer has worked with international models. She has had many fashion creation and fashion brands, so I expect like high fashion performance and high fashion choreography.
Yeah, a bit like us in Euro Club.
Oh yes, definitely. I was looking at our Euro Club photos when it was Gia's birthday to send her a few, and we looked so El Diablo.
We've got let's say hello to Luka Jovanovic. Hey Luka. Yes, tomorrow, Saturday is Dora. And we can't wait. Make sure, guys, if you're going to watch Dora, make sure you come straight after the show. We will be live talking about the show and the winner, so make sure you tune in for that. Emily Freeman. Yes, I have to say that I loved Sandro. Didn't have a lot of fans, I don't think, last year. People kind of liked the song, but no one's really talking about him. But ended up being a song. I think it was actually my most played song from Eurovision last year on my Spotify list.
I think it's because we didn't get to see a live performance, so we were relying solely on a recorded performance.
Yeah, well, we did see I think it was the Melfest pre-party. He did do I think it might have been an acoustic
with the most unexcited audience, I must say. Poor guy. He was performing really, really well, and everybody's just like,
Luca, if you've had a bad day, you're in the right place because we're celebrating 100 days to Eurovision. Of course, we've got 2 days to go until we find out the song for Hrvatska, Croatia, taking place on Saturday. So you must be very excited about that. Morten, you're saying you still need to listen to the Danske Melody Grand Prix entry. So has everyone here heard the entries or heard the clips at least?
Yeah.
I've heard nothing.
No, but I know you did a reaction, and I'm looking forward to watch it.
Well, don't. I was slightly disappointed, I think, in the Danish selection. And we have got a couple of 80 sounding songs in there again. So
okay, then I'm
whatever.
Yeah.
It's but you know, nothing really jumped out at me. But again, I've only heard very short clips, so I need to hear the full performances. But I've picked up some of the chatter in the Eurovision community, and a lot of people saying that, you know, they're not too impressed. But who knows what will happen? I mean, I was never a huge fan of Leonora a couple of years ago, and that ended up qualifying and actually did quite well in the final. From what I can remember, I think it came 12th or 13th. Something like that. So, you know, I got it totally wrong with Denmark a couple of years ago. So I've probably got it wrong this year as well. Felix P, Danske Melody Grand Prix is disappointed for you this year. However, Christopher loves Silver Bullet from Denmark. Oh, and George is also just confirming Sandro also performed at the Romanian national selection.
So then it was me that didn't see the live performances.
Why didn't I see that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, right? Because maybe they were not so publicized or like pushed up.
Or maybe the best performer that night, which was Loreen, really just stole the show and nobody can remember anything else.
Exactly.
Not even who that selection was for.
No, I have a feeling that's probably one of the nights where we had like 9 selections going on at the same time. So
yeah.
It's hard to keep up. Let's have a look. Sandro performed Replay and Fuego in. Oh, sorry, he didn't perform his actual song. Saradak, you're slowly falling into Eurovision. Yes. Are you new to Eurovision, Saradak? And I think you were talking about Blind Channel. So if Blind Channel have brought you to Eurovision, welcome to our world. It's crazy, but you'll love Eurovision. So stick with us. Make sure you subscribe. Joanne Johnson, when is Norway's final? So that is
next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
So many things happening next Saturday.
Yeah. We let's have a that's it. So probably a good time for us to wrap up. But guys, if you are just joining us for the first time, make sure you subscribe. We've got 100 days to go to Eurovision, and we've got so much coming up for you guys. We've got we will be live after Dora on Saturday. We'll also be having a Melody Festivalen discussion because that the second semi-final is happening on Saturday. We've also got the 5th heat of Melody Grand Prix.
Yes, we do.
5th heat of Melody Grand Prix in Norway, so we'll be talking about that too. So make sure you come back to us on Saturday. Enjoy Dora and MGP and Melody Festivalen, whichever one you're watching, or flick between the three. And make sure you follow us on our socials: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Otherwise, guys, to Jess, Clara, Stu, until the next video, guys. See ya.
Like tomorrow or the day after.
Probably tomorrow. See you in an hour.